Your body is this incredible universe of trillions of cells, all working together in perfect harmony. But what's the invisible conductor leading this amazing orchestra? Well, today we're diving into a really fascinating idea that tries to answer that, pulling from biofield science to explore how all the different parts of you become one single, unified whole.
So here's the big question, right? How do you get from a collection of 12 totally different biological systems to a single integrated person? And believe me, that's not just some philosophical question. It's a deep, deep physiological puzzle. And the framework we're looking at today suggests the answer starts with a pretty simple number. Okay, so to understand the whole, we've got to start with a map of the parts. And in biomedical science, that map is basically built on what's called the rule of twelfths. Think of this first section as the official user's manual for your own body. And here it is. The number is 12. Modern science has done an amazing job of taking the mind-boggling complexity of the human body and organizing it into 12 major physiological systems. This number, 12, gives us the fundamental chapters in the story of you.
And here's the whole crew. You've got your skeletal, muscular, cardiovascular, and respiratory systems. Then the digestive, nervous, endocrine, and urinary. And finally, the integumentary, immune, reproductive, and lymphatic systems. Each one is an absolute marvel of engineering. But here's the key thing to remember. None of them works alone. They're all constantly talking to each other, totally interdependent. So how exactly do they all link up? Well, it's time for a super fast tour of your internal network. In Section 2, we're going to see how these systems team up to keep you running. First up, we've got the architects and the engineers. Your skeletal system provides the basic structure, right? It's the scaffolding that holds you up and protects everything inside. And working right alongside it is the muscular system, the powerful engines that are behind every single move you make, from a tiny eye blink to running a full marathon. Of course, every engine needs fuel and a delivery service, and that's where the supply lines come in. Your respiratory system pulls in oxygen, your digestive system breaks down your food into nutrients, and your cardiovascular system, that's the incredible highway network that delivers all that good stuff to every single cell. But who's coordinating this whole massive operation? That would be command and control. The nervous system is like the body's super-fast internet, zapping electrical signals everywhere for instant reactions. Then you have the endocrine system, which works a bit more slowly. It sends out hormones. Think of them as chemical emails to manage all the long-term stuff like growth, metabolism, and even your mood. And behind every great operation, there's always an amazing support crew. These are the real unsung heroes. The urinary system is in charge of waste management and keeping your body's delicate fluid balance just right. And the immune and lymphatic systems, they work together as your personal security and cleanup crew, defending you from invaders and clearing out all the junk. Okay, so we've got our 12 systems all grouped up. But just listing the parts doesn't explain the music, the harmony, what's conducting it all. This is where the story takes a really interesting turn. We've talked about the physical hardware. Now, in Section 3, let's explore the energy that might be running the whole show. And that brings us to this huge question. What's really powering this whole network? We know about all the chemicals and the nerve impulses, sure. But is there maybe another layer of communication that helps orchestrate this incredible biological symphony? How does it all work in such perfect concert? The answer proposed by this framework is a concept called the biofield. So what is it? It's basically the combined result of all the coordinated electrical stuff happening in your body. A good way to think of it is as a field of energy and information that's actually generated by your body, and in turn, helps organize it. And this isn't some kind of magic. This energy comes from the most powerful electrical systems you've got. The massive electromagnetic field pumping out from your beating heart is a huge contributor. So are the complex electrical patterns firing in your brain, the constant electrical activity in your nerves and muscles, even the tiny little currents that happen every time ions move across the membranes of every cell in your body. It's the sum total of you. So, if this biofield exists, how do we interact with it? And how does it interact with the world around us? Well, the key might be hiding in plain sight. Our largest organ. Let's move on to Section 4, your skin, the antenna. We usually think of our skin, the integumentary system, as just a wrapper, right? A passive barrier to keep the outside out and the inside in. But this new framework suggests something way more exciting, that our skin is actually a dynamic interface, an active antenna that can sense subtle energies in the environment and turn them into biological signals. And get this, there is solid science showing that our skin is electrically active. Scientists even talk about the skin battery. Yep, you heard me right. It's a natural electrical field across the layers of your skin. And it's not just for show. This field is powerful enough to actually guide cells to the right place when you get a cut, helping to organize how you heal. Your skin is literally alive with electricity. So how does this whole antenna thing work? It's basically a 4-step process. First, some kind of subtle energy from the environment interacts with your skin. Second, specialized, super-sensitive receptors in your skin react. Third, that reaction creates a tiny electrical signal, an action potential. And fourth, that signal gets sent right up to the nervous system. A message from the outside world just got translated into the language of your body. All right, let's put all the pieces together. We have the 12 systems creating a biofield, and we have the skin acting as an antenna. So now, in our final section, let's connect those dots and see this new unified view of how we connect our inner and outer worlds. Here is the absolute crux of the whole idea. We have to stop thinking about our skin and the biofield as two separate things. The source material puts it perfectly. They're a coupled system. This means the way your skin works is totally inseparable from the energy fields it's helping to create and is also constantly sensing. They're two parts of one whole. In this unified view, your skin is the ultimate translator. It's the critical bridge connecting your own internal energy world, that biofield generated by your 12 systems, with the huge sea of energy and information in the environment around you. It's where your inner universe meets the outer one. Thinking about ourselves this way, it really changes everything. We're not just sealed off from the world. We're in a constant, subtle conversation with it. Which leads me to a final question for you to really think about. If your body is constantly sensing the world in this much deeper, energetic way, what might it be telling you?